Hello YouTube, I hope you're all doing well. So today I'm gonna talk about the infamous sneak stance which Dragunov has, as you already know. So some beginner players don't actually know how to count this stance and they don't think they have any defensive options, so that's where they get beaten up by the Dragunov players and then complain he's overpowered, blah blah blah. I do think he is quite a bit overpowered, but there's still ways that people can counter him but don't know how to counter him. So they just say he's too overpowered and they don't actually know when it's okay to press a button and when not to. So sometimes, or most of the times, Dragunov players' pressure can get overwhelming, but he is most of the times pressuring you when he's in negative frames. So that means you can press while he's doing some move or interrupt his stance mix-ups, whatever. So today I'll tell you in this video after which strings you can actually press and how to interrupt his strings. And yeah, let's get straight into it. So this is basically Dragunov Sneak stance for those of you who don't know. So you can input a QCF forward and go into sneak, or he could go into sneak with the following moves. So forward 3 and 3-1 will rarely be used. They're mostly used in combos, so you won't see them in neutral, so you don't have to worry about those. First of all, let's talk about 2-1. This is his 10 frame punisher. So whenever you're hit by this, you don't have much of a choice to counter it because he's at plus 10. So he can hit you with his best moves, which is the QCF4 or the low option. So basically you can't even sidestep him when you're hit, so you just have to take the guess and defend. But on block he's -1, so you can always interrupt him with a quick jab, which is 10 frame, or down forward 1. So the next string is the back forward 2 into sneak, which can be a tricky string to counter because the Dragunov player can always do the back forward 2-1, or he could do back 4-2 and do nothing, or you could do back 4-2, then you could go for the grab option. So yeah, you have to be observant about it and check when he's gonna use it. Whenever you see him go into sneak, then you can actually counter him with some defensive options, which I'll show. Another interesting thing you have to keep in mind is if you get hit by the string, then you're left in crouch. So you have to either beat his options with a while standing 4, or you could go for the down jab. The while standing 4 will beat his sneak 4 option and the low sneak 3 option, but it will be beaten by his sneak 1. So to counter all three of those, you could always go for the down jab, which I think is the most optimal, but you have to mix it up. If you go for the while standing 4, you can float his sneak 3 option, which can give you a full combo, which I think is very rewarding. The other most common move you'll see Dragunov players use is the while standing 1 into sneak, but please keep in mind that you can always follow up with while standing 1-3 and 1-2. So don't press too early or you might get clipped with those moves. But the tricky part is mostly the reaction time, because usually when you're at the wall, you can't react to this, but you can use all of those defensive options I've told for back 4-2, but you can also down forward 2 launch him. So yeah, but it depends on reactions. So definitely you have to go into training and set up while standing 1-3 with 1-2, then set one option for while standing 1 into sneak options, so and get used to it, used to seeing it, and react to his all options. We're gonna now talk about full crouch down forward 1-4. There's not a lot you can counter, but if you notice, he's going for sneak 4 after full crouch down for 1-4. You can always interrupt him with the 10 frame jab, or you can grab him out if you have 10-11 frame grab, and you can sidestep him to the right. So that's a little tip you can keep in mind, so you can stop Dragunov's abusing the same string. But you have to be careful with it, because if he uses his sneak 3 option, then he can always frame trap you. So don't use it more than once or twice in a match, is what I would say. And lastly, let's talk about QCF4. While it is hard to counter on the wall, there's not much you can do. But in open, if they're using it, you have quite some options. You can stop him, especially going for QCF4, then into full crouch down forward 1-4. The best option I would say is to backdash and see if they whiff something. They usually would go for full crouch down for 1-4 without whiff, and you can go for your punish. Or you could sidestep to the left and then see if they're whiffing something. But when you notice he stopped going for that, some Dragunovs would usually go for a running 2 after QCF4 if they're not going for a full crouch down forward 1-4. So you could interrupt him with the mid check like a down forward 1, but be careful because he can go for his heat dash, which is a frame trap if you use anything. So I would suggest just doing a down for 1 check if he's not in heat. So yeah, that's gonna be basically it. I hope you guys learned something from this, and if you want to see more guides, please let me know in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.